The NBA postseason rolls on, but I've got my eyes on a bunch of your suggestions.
And I'm here to tell you which cards to buy, sell, or hold.
This is The Forecast. Hey, sports card investors, I'm Amber Wilson, hanging out with you again on another Thursday. So let's go ahead and do the darn thing. Now, you guys know how this works by now. You guys hit us up under the YouTube last week and the preceding weeks. You told us who you want to hear about on this show. So I've got 5 of your suggestions today. We will cover a little bit of everything like we always do on this show. A little soccer, a little basketball, even a little football. So we'll give you a general taste of everything. Now, before I hop into it, I want to remind you guys, as always, that this episode of Sports Card Investor is brought to you by our friends at eBay. Your number one spot for cards and collectibles, with the largest inventory of sports cards from basketball to soccer, and with buyers from all over the globe. eBay is the leading place to buy, sell, and invest your cards. So let's hop right into things. And KK, he wants us to talk about soccer. He wants us more specifically to talk about Kylian Mbappe. So let's do it. Of course, one of soccer's young stars. He plays for France. He's been a major driving force in soccer's increased popularity in the hobby, actually. His 2017 Topps Chrome has a relatively low population, and Mbappe's cards are in general up very big over the last year. But they've been dipping hard recently, so let's take a look at that. His 2017 Topps Chrome UEFA Base PSA 10. That's what you're looking at on this chart. It's only got a pop of 671, and it's down 50% over the last 30 days. Now, I know some of you have been complaining when I only give you 30 days from market movers here. Let me go ahead and hit you also with 365 days. Over 365 days, his card is up 139%. So if we're looking at a year, a lot of upward mobility. If we're taking just a snapshot of what's happened very recently, a sharp downward turn. So, Teapot, what do we do here? Buy, sell, or hold?
In spite of the fact that I was yelling out, pourquoi Mbappe this past week, I am a buy on Mbappe's cards right now. This was a match in the Euros to forget for Mbappe and for that French team, who were highly favored to win the Euros. He blew 2 great opportunities in regulation against Switzerland, and then he missed the PK to send Switzerland and not France into the quarterfinals. But you know what? None of that changes any of the remarkable feats that this 22-year-old has accomplished so far in his career. He's an incredible athlete. Every great athlete must face adversity at some point, and they must rise above it, and I am totally confident that Kylian Mbappe is going to do just that. He's got incredible speed and athleticism, remarkable dribbling skills for his age, and his ability to finish with both feet has a lot of people thinking that he's the next Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going to be more than fine. He'll continue to be great, and with his card prices down, I'm a buy.
Now let's turn our attention to some baseball, shall we? And Sean M., he wants to hear about Joe Mauer. So let's talk about the former Twins MVP. Now, his last game was back in 2018. An AL MVP in 2009. He had 28 home runs that year, 96 ribbies. The only catcher in Major League Baseball history to win 3 batting titles. He moved from catcher to first baseman after struggling with concussions. Not extremely popular in the hobby, even despite that resume. Mauer had just 45 sales recorded on market movers over the last year. An extremely low population also for graded cards. So let's take a look here at Joe Mauer's 2002 Topps Chrome Base Raw. Now, this card over the last year is up 11% in value. So a small little bump there. Obviously a legendary player, but what do we do here with Joe Mauer's cards? Buy, sell, or hold?
I'm a Detroit Tigers fan, but Joe Mauer is one of my favorite baseball players of all time, and I'm a buy on Mauer this week. A class act with a great story, born in St. Paul, Minnesota, goes on to play in the Twin City, Minneapolis for his 15-year career. Mauer might not be one of the most popular players of all time, but man, do the Twins fans love him. And there's something really to be said for players who have an incredible collector base an incredibly loyal fan base who stayed within a team their entire career. And while his Chrome base card raw might be really affordable in that $30 range, the PSA 10s are super low population, pop 46 with a gem rate of just 31%. Mauer's going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2024. Probably not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he's got a great shot at getting in overall. I'm a buy on Joe Mauer.
Omar C wants to hear about catchers as well, so let's do it. Yadi Molina, that's who he wants to hear about. The legendary Cardinals catcher, of course, was known for throwing out runners with his cannon. Now, it's his 18th season this season with St. Louis. Likely he doesn't have much longer left to play. So could we see some bump there in card value as he nears the end of his career? Now, his cards have a very low population of PSA 10s. So let's take a look here at his 2004 Topps base PSA 10. There's only 186 of these in circulation. But over the last year, that card is up 115% in value. So people in the hobby buying into Molina as he rounds out the end of his career. What do we do here? I don't know when he's retiring, but we assume it's sometime soon here, probably coming up. Do we buy, do we sell, or do we hold?
Right now, I am a hold on Yadier Molina's cards. In spite of being a Tigers fan who watched Yadi bat over 400 in the 2006 World Series, beating my Detroit Tigers, I still really like Yadi a lot. In fact, he's one of my favorite players, just like Joe Mauer. I seem to have something for catchers. I appreciate the loyalty and the defense that he brings, and his bat is as clutch as anybody in baseballs. Now, while he's not the same kind of player as Mauer, he's had an incredible career, 18 seasons and counting, and he's another guy that has a great shot to make the Hall of Fame. Low population cards for a player like Yadi are always attractive. Again, loyal fan base. Hammer, who's on our team, is a huge Yadi fan. I'm a hold on him right now to wait and see if his stuff cools off in the next few months.
Okay, I've talked enough baseball. Let's move on to some football. And Mita wants to hear about Sam Darnold, so let's do it. Obviously, the former New York Jets quarterback. Well, that story didn't go so well in New York, so now he's going to try to write a new story down in Carolina. In 3 seasons, he passed for just 45 touchdowns, 39 interceptions. Let's see if he can get that much needed fresh start in Carolina. People still don't really know if Sam Darnold is good or if he's bad because he was on such a bad New York Jets team and people think the Jets are such a trash franchise, and it's hard to evaluate a player in his position. But we're about to find out if Sam Darnold is actually a decent quarterback at all. Now, his card prices have been almost completely speculation with few examples of strong results. His cards did get a small bump after the trade as collectors hope that maybe a change of scenery here, a change of geography, will mean a change for Sam Darnold's career. So let's take a look at his 2018 Optic Base PSA 10. Now, over the last 90 days, that card is down 17% in value. If we're looking at Sam Darnold's 2018 Prism Base PSA 10, this one has a higher pop. That card over the last 90 days is down about the same, down 18% in value. So we don't know what we're going to see from Sam Darnold in Carolina. Could moving south suit Sam Darnold's career? What do we do here with Sam Darnold's cards? Do we buy, do we sell, or do we hold?
All right, I'm a Notre Dame fan. Go Irish. You know I'm going to have a hard time saying anything nice about a Trojan. This week, I'm a hold on Sam Darnold. To be totally honest, I've never really believed in Darnold. I didn't get it. I watched him a fair amount in college with USC, and I wasn't particularly impressed with 26 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in a Pac-12 that doesn't play defense. Unfortunately for Darnold, he then went into that talent abyss known as the New York Jets organization, and he hasn't had much success in the pros either. It's now or never for Darnold in Carolina. He's got talent with Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey especially, who I expect him to be dumping the ball off to a lot. It's do or die for Darnold. I'm a hold because I want to see what he can do with talent around him.
M. Salazar wants me to talk about basketball in today's show, so let's talk some hoops. Now, I'm not going to be talking about any of the teams left in these NBA playoffs. I'm going to be talking about a guy sitting on his couch watching the NBA playoffs. That's because his Toronto Raptors did not make it, and that player is Gary Trent Jr. So let's talk about him. The Raptors guard. He was traded from Portland for Norman Powell earlier this season. He averaged about 15 points per game, 38% from 3 in 2021. He fits that typical 3-and-D mold of the new movement in the modern NBA. So he's a restricted free agent this offseason. I could totally see him staying in Toronto. He could be a strong buy maybe because, he's got a low population in terms of his cards, good prices, and we're talking about a guy who might get a much bigger role next season. That, of course, would depend if he stays in Toronto, what that roster construction ends up looking like. So let's take a look here at Gary Trent Jr.'s 2018 Prism Base PSA 10. Now, over the last 30 days, that card's down about 7%, which is, basically stagnant. 7% doesn't mean a whole lot of much of anything. Here, when we see less than 10%, we don't worry about it too much, but basically it just means right now in the hobby, his value is just holding. There's not much movement here. So what do we do with Gary Trent Jr.'s cards? Do we buy, do we sell, or do we hold?
I love it when second round picks emerge with starting level talent, and I'm a buy on Gary Trent Jr. right now. That 2018 rookie class is turning out every single week, every year to be more and more loaded. And normally, I would say I'd actually wait it out a little bit more on a player like Gary Trent Jr., but there's a handful of things that I really like about his cards right now. One, the situation in Toronto is totally up in the air. We have no idea who's still going to be there after this offseason, who's not. If he gets traded or dealt somewhere else, I think he's still got a great chance to be one of the focal points of the offense from a scoring perspective. Two, his card prices are actually down significantly in the last 180 days. And three, the population count on his graded stuff is very low. And he got traded to Toronto around the same time that PSA closed down. So I don't expect that there's a ton sitting in their backlog for Gary Trent Jr. I'm a buy right now on Gary Trent Jr.
So that'll do it for today's show, guys. That was a quick and easy one because of all of your suggestions. We really appreciate them. Keep them rolling in. Let us know who you want to hear about. We will credit you on this show. I appreciate all the suggestions each and every week. If you guys want to hear me this weekend on ESPN Radio, I'm on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. alongside Byron Metcalf this weekend. And either way, I will be back here, of course, next Thursday on Sports Card Investor. As always, guys, happy investing.